The parents were enjoying a lively celebration outside, but inside the house, trouble was brewing. The mischievous little cub, Rico, was preparing fireworks, and to everyone's shock, he had tied the tiny caretaker bird, Timmy, right onto them. With a sly grin, Rico lit the fuse, ready to send Timmy flying. Just as the sparks threatened to burst into flames, Luna and Kai rushed in, tossing the fire away in the nick of time. They were about to scold the cub for his reckless stunt, but fate played a cruel trick. One spark leapt onto Luna's tail, sending her into a panic. In the chaos, another firework caught flame. Rico shrieked in fear, and Luna dashed forward, rescuing him just in time. But as luck would have it, her glove got stuck to the fuse, and in the next moment, she was hurled into the sky with the fireworks exploding around her. Meanwhile, far away in the Amazon rainforest, Dr. Mira and Dr. Han were setting a young bird free when, out of nowhere, a rare sapphire-feathered parrot swooped down, knocking Han's camera into the dirt. Both scientists froze in shock. This meant that the legendary species they thought was nearly extinct was still alive in the wild. Back at home, Luna was preparing breakfast for her family when the TV broadcast showed the discovery made by Mira and Han. The news filled Zaya, Luna's spirited partner, with excitement. As one of the last of the sapphire-winged parrots herself, Zaya longed to return to the Amazon, to reconnect with her lost kin. Luna, however, was hesitant. She had grown comfortable with human life and feared the dangers of the untamed jungle. But Zaya pleaded, her heart pulling her toward her origins. At last, Luna agreed. Before leaving, Luna bid farewell to her friends, who nervously warned her about the perils of the Amazon, insisting she might never come back. Yet, the very next morning, all of them turned up, determined to join the adventure. Together, they took off, soaring high above the island, circling countless times before finally catching the wind that would guide them straight into the heart of the journey. At the same time, fate was moving elsewhere. The villainous Blanco, a giant white bird, had survived an earlier accident but could no longer fly. Humiliated, he vowed revenge against Luna's family. When night fell aboard their cruise ship, Blanco sharpened his claws, sneaking in to strike. But an accident triggered the ship's loudspeaker, blasting a deafening noise that startled him so badly he tumbled overboard into the sea. Humiliation only deepened his hunger for vengeance. Meanwhile, on a flickering TV screen, Mira and Han appeared again, promoting their mission to establish a nature preserve in the Amazon. Their call for protection didn't please everyone. From the shadows, the greedy logger Magnus, leader of a ruthless company, smashed the screen with his cane. With a cold glare, he decided he would personally head into the Amazon to deal with this threat and anyone who dared to stand in his way. Deep in the jungle, the nights were never quiet. The animal world was alive with its own rhythm, almost like a grand talent show. A firefly gave the signal, and one by one, the performers took the stage, an ostrich twisting its long neck in rhythm, a group of drumming sparrows beating the rain like drums, even a tree-dwelling creature that sang like a poet. But the performance ended abruptly when a black panther leapt from the shadows, silencing a small singer before the final note. Just a few days earlier, Luna and her family had finally arrived in the Amazon. The children, full of energy, ran off into the wilderness, forcing Zaya to split away from Luna to keep them safe. Left alone, Luna relied on her GPS to track down Dr. Mira, only to be suddenly swept off her path. A blue-feathered stranger grabbed her and carried her deep into the trees before setting her down. Luna's eyes widened. Before her stood Zaya, along with the children, perfectly safe. The stranger explained his actions. His name was Aaron, a member of the hidden Sapphire Parrot clan. He feared Luna was too close to humans and could bring danger to them all. What shocked everyone even more was the leader of this clan, none other than Orin, Zaya's father, who had been separated from her years ago during a human attack. Tears filled Orin's eyes as he embraced his long-lost daughter and discovered he now had 3 grandchildren. "No more, sir, call me Papa," he said proudly, his heart swelling with joy. To celebrate Zaya's return, the clan threw a grand feast beneath the starlit canopy. But Luna did not feel at home. Surrounded by traditions and wary eyes, she stood out as an outsider. The next day, Orin decided it was time to toughen his new son-in-law. Once a proud warrior of the clan, he put Luna through a brutal training camouflage with mud, surviving encounters with snakes, and mastering flight with strength and precision. Luna tried her best, but progress was slow, leaving Oren exhausted and frustrated. During one of their ventures, they stumbled upon a disturbing sight: humans cutting trees illegally deep inside the Amazon. Luna urged that they seek help from Dr. Mira and Dr. Han, but Oren immediately refused. To him, humans were destroyers, and trusting them would only bring ruin to the clan. Their disagreement grew heated, and Luna and Zaya quarreled as well, their bond shaken. In an attempt to ease tensions, Luna tried to make Zaya laugh, but their distraction led them straight into the territory of the rival Crimson Macaw clan. The two groups had been enemies for generations. Their leader, a fiery red parrot named Talon, challenged Oren, claiming that according to the law of survival, only the strongest deserved the land. Reluctantly, Oren agreed to settle the rivalry, but instead of a bloody fight, the two sides decided on something unexpected: a football match. The forest turned into a stadium, feathers clashing in the air as the game began. "What's the strategy? 4-3-2 or 5-4-1? Parrots joked as they scrambled. Crimson macaws versus sapphire parrots. It was fierce, wild, and breathtaking. Despite their efforts, Oren's team began to fall behind. Desperate, they turned to Luna. The crowd roared as Luna stepped onto the field, now seen as the team's last hope. With surprising agility, she darted past defenders, weaving through the Crimson Macaws with skill no one expected. She dribbled the ball across the field, the goal just within reach. With one final swing, she launched it into the air, a perfect curve, a breathtaking shot. But fate twisted cruelly. Instead of scoring for her team, the ball landed in their own net. Gasps filled the air. The Sapphire Parrots had lost. Oren, humiliated, turned his back. The team walked off the field in silence, disappointment heavy in their eyes. Luna stood frozen, heartbroken. All she wanted was to belong, but her mistake had pushed her further away. Torn between returning to her old life or staying for her children, she finally chose to remain, determined to protect her family, even if she had to face the jungle's judgment alone. Before settling into her choice, she quietly said farewell to Dr. Mira, her human ally. But danger was closing in. Mira and Han had just discovered a sacred part of the forest when they were captured by the ruthless Magnus and tied to trees. By the time Luna reached their camp, it was already in ruins. Sensing something was wrong, she searched desperately until a bitter parrot, still angry about the lost football match, tried to pick a fight with her. Before the quarrel could escalate, the ground shook. The loggers had arrived with massive machines, tearing the jungle apart. Chaos erupted. Luna raced to warn the clan, freeing Dr. Mira along the way. Together, they rushed to stop the destruction. But the loggers' convoy was unstoppable, bulldozers grinding forward under Magnus's orders. At the last moment, Luna and her people charged. Birds, monkeys, frogs, and every creature of the forest joined the fight. Even Luna's children leapt in, bravely commandeering a digger to hold back the machines. In the heat of battle, Blanco, the vengeful white bird, swooped in with his brother, seizing the moment to strike Luna. The two clashed in midair, feathers scattering as the machines raged below. Oren, the proud chief, was struck by debris and nearly crushed, until Mira drove a forklift straight into the chaos, saving his life. But Magnus had one final weapon: explosives strapped to the trees. With a sinister grin, he lit the fuse, ready to annihilate the forest. Luna didn't hesitate. She tore the bomb loose and hurled it skyward. Magnus lunged to stop her, but Blanco collided with him, both tangled in the blast. In the explosion's wake, Blanco staggered to his feet, cornering Luna for one last strike. Just then, a tiny poison frog leapt forward, firing venom at him. The attack missed, and the frog collapsed in tears. He had always secretly loved Blanco and thought he had killed him. But the truth emerged: the frog's venom was harmless. Blanco, bruised but alive, staggered away, his rage broken by humiliation. At last, the battle was over. Magnus, the heartless boss, was swallowed whole by a giant python, ending his reign of destruction. Under the guidance of Mira and Han, the Amazon was declared a protected sanctuary, forever safe from greed. Oren, once distrustful of humans, now saw them with new eyes. As for Blanco and the little frog, they were taken away by Mira for research. beginning a strange new chapter together. And Luna? She and her family chose to stay in the forest, no longer torn between two worlds. Surrounded by friends, kin, and the wild beauty of the Amazon, they celebrated with a joyous, unforgettable party. A reminder that home is not just where you live, but where your heart finally finds peace. Thank you for watching.